Fuck.
2, 1.
All right. Welcome back to our stream of streams, the D&D show where we try and get famous doing this D&D thing.
And that's the greatest joke of the night.
Hell yeah. Last time we played, you guys washed ashore to the Cradle, the land where the Tabaxi live on top of other kind of like beast folk and kin. And you tried to gather some of your materials and wits. As you were getting ready, you guys saw Waxey and I think it was Ophie saw two Tabaxi guards walking to them. Waxey immediately recognized these two as John Rat and Howard.
John Rat.
Everyone tried John Rat. Shout out to John Rat, whose name should have been Conrad. But you guys came. You guys tried to deceive them into thinking that Waxey was here on purpose, but they saw through your deception. You guys then he brought you through the city of the Cradle, the military base, where you walked back to General Rising Dawn, where it was revealed that Waxey was his mother. There was a touching scene between Waxey and Rising Dawn as they kind of hashed it out and came to an understanding, and then it came to realize the rest of the party that something was happening with the greater ruins at the Cradle, and monsters were escaping constantly, and it was in a constant state of war. And PBJ, you found out that, and then it was later explained through the General Rising Dawn, that a monster had escaped and was blocking off your guys' entrance and exit through the main ports of the Cradle, unable to leave until this was dealt with. You guys offered your help, and General Rising Dawn accepted, and he said, you guys have a full day to kind of just do some downtime and like figure out some things that you want to do. You guys spent the night after a bunch of maid play with John Rott and Howard. Howard.
Boo.
Yes. And then you guys came up the next day. Howard got a concussion from Johnny. John Rat brought you guys over to Cradle, the now retcon cleric of the university at the Cradle, where he was up to some wild shenanigans and some sexual exploits were found out between Waxey and Cradle. There's a bunch of stuff that happened there, and we ended with everyone having a whole bunch of chili that was made by Johnny and John Rat.
Does this work like the Dragon Inn's coffee?
I wish it did, but it does not.
Only that is 80% whiskey.
We'll start our next scene. We'll start next part where chili's all done. Crackle has gone to take a nap. What's the other guy's name? I have it written down.
Nap.
Yes. No, it's Horn. Horn is. So it's Crackle and Horn. We only need Snap, and then we have a full trio.
The trio
Horn has
Horn.
The true corn
god.
Snap, Crackle, and Corn.
Exactly.
I hope it's spelled like corn, like K, like the 90s rock band.
On a leash.
Yeah, so we'll start our next session, our next scenes up with kind of opening up to you guys. John Rat says, I can take you guys to wherever you need to go. there's something else you want to do, kind of around the islands, or leave it. Crackle and Horn have kind of gone back to their studies now and open it up to the party.
We're leaving tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah, so you guys, that was just kind of like your morning kind of session. It's like the middle of the day now, probably around, noon to 3.
Johnny's gonna go pick up a shift guarding the entrance to the ruins. General said they needed help, and if I can get a long rest in afterwards, I'm gonna go do that to help anything. Anything else from getting in.
Cool. So you're gonna. So John Rat says. Yeah. Okay. So you want to do that, but John Rat goes, listen. I know you said that you needed help, but if you wanted to, we actually don't know what the creature was that escaped. No one saw it, and everyone who did see it died because it was so massive. I can take you guys around the islands, kind of like trying to pick up any clues or hints as to what it is, if that's something you want to do. If you don't want to do that, then you're welcome to go and help guard the greater ruins. It's not well paying, but you get probably maybe 50 gold for that because it's so dangerous right now.
Oh, I didn't even realize I was going to get paid. But if these guys are going around to find clues, I'll stick around with squishy magic people to, just like Captain Modi wanted me to, if they're going to go investigate this giant monster.
Ophie would like to go up to Egan and say, hey, bud, I was reading this book and they have these ruins called the Mirror Self ruins of the goddess Loeth. Do you want to go check those out? We haven't been to a ruins that has an actual name. That sounds pretty cool.
I'm 100% down. Let's go.
And then Ophie's gonna just kind of like dust off his clothes. And he's like, "Do you think we could ask Waxey to come with us? I feel like they might know a little bit more about the ruins."
Egan has a visible sweat over his brow, but doesn't want to discourage you. It just is like, sure, the more the merrier.
So then Ophie would give Egan a high five, like, yeah, Zardy boys on a new continent. Yeah.
and Egan just mumbles under himself and
Can I try to do an insight check into Egan?
Yeah, give me an insight check, and then Egan, give me a deception check.
Oh god.
We'll do them against each other.
What do we got first?
That's not bad.
Ophie got a 17.
Oh, I got a 16.
Yes!
So Egan, what
tracks.
does Ophie see besides the fear that you may be showing?
He mentioned Waxey's name before Egan could stop himself. His eyes got a little bit wide, but knows that Ophie kind of likes Waxey and is willing to be around her, though he is a little afraid of her, and tried to keep that to himself. And so he did the high five and tried to nonchalantly wipe the sweat off his brow.
Ophie's gonna so since Ophie sees that, he's gonna actually telepathically tell his familiar Rummy Nose to actually go curl up on Egan's shoulder. Just kind of give Egan some comfort and an added bit of protection.
Yeah, the little guy kind of runs up and he kind of makes himself around you like a little scarf, and he rubs his nose up against your chin, and I guess he starts to purr, but instead of purring, he just kind of goes rummy, 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 rummy. And just kind of like that. He just has this nice vibration.
He can feel better. He scratches under the Rummy Nose's chin, and from the food we have from the boat, I'm gonna break a little piece in half and give some to the Rummy Nose and some to my Minkling. And I'm fully distracted by this.
I'm sure the rummy nose is actually gonna take the piece and like try to like throw it underneath like Crackle's foot as he lands to like trip Crackle.
And Cradle's gonna make a little bit of a roll. It's gonna make
The Mankling
a
is definitely
dex.
chasing it like fetch.
He's gonna make the roll. Okay, all right. Let's see what Crackle has dex. He made a dex saving throw. Okay, all right. We'll say, I'll do this. He has a +0. 14. Let's say he passes. You see that he kind of like, he's like a big old loxodon. He's old, but he like kind of steps on the crumb and just kind of walks past it. He doesn't really do anything.
Okay. And then then Ophie's gonna go up to Waxey and just be like, he's gonna like first hesitate because he's still like he like feels that he always has to treat authority so properly that he like goes to salute but like stops himself. It's just like, hey, Waxey, hey, do you have any plans today?
Waxey looks up from practicing prestidigitation and making those little strawberry candies that you can only find at your grandmother's, and looks over and goes, well, I was gonna visit my husband's grave, but I suppose I could move that to my 4 o'clock. What do you want to do?
I mean, we can. Wow, that's really heavy. I was not expecting that. Okay. We could do that if you want. But you might want to.
Oh, he can wait. No, that's fine.
Okay.
Not gonna bother him. You won't know I'm there.
Oh. I hope the spirits didn't hear that. Okay.
Waxy, as you say that, give me a. Give me a charisma. Give me a flat charisma roll.
All right. 16.
Okay. You don't hear anything. You don't hear anything.
That's not
Yeah.
It's only a little terrifying.
Hold on.
And then Ophie. Ophie would
What?
continue and just say, so I heard about the ruins of the mirrored self. Egan and I were interested in maybe heading there to potentially like just go ruin Rumblin, and it might be better to have someone who actually knows this place better than us.
The ruins of mirrored self. That's where me and my girlfriends in high school used to go to get super high. I mean, talk about mirrored self. You'd look in the rock and you'd see like 8 of you looking back at you, all of them so stoned, and then have an existential crisis, fall asleep, wake up at 8 a.m., kind of make it to class a bit late, but
Ophie just like slowly like turns his head to like look at Egan.
I'm still enamored with the rummy nose. I'm not paying attention at this point.
Okay. Well, I don't have any drugs to do, but maybe we could not do drugs and look for some stuff.
Oh, I mean, sure, yeah. That sounds like fun, too.
Oh.
Okay, I mean, if you had drugs, I guess I could maybe do them? No, I shouldn't.
What do I roll to see if I have drugs?
Give me a flat luck check.
It's a drug check. It's under charisma.
Drug check.
Just roll a d20. 10 or higher, you have drugs.
I rolled a 17.
You absolutely have drugs.
I just
into your
rolled.
room. Go
So, with a 17, what am I
ahead. You
packing?
went into your room. You went into your room after talking to General Rising Dawn, like for the night, and you went into the closet that, like, you have a shared closet where the maid outfits come back and forth through with General Rising Dawn, and you pull a pen compartment out of there, and you just had bags of stream dust, which is like weed. but it's it's stream dust.
All right.
For what it's
Waxey,
worth, I just rolled to
Waxey's
see
like-
if I heard them talking about drugs, and I got a 2.
You do not hear that anything.
Yeah, so Waxy, I feel like in this moment would kind of reach into her purse or whatever she carries on her and pull out the bag of stream dust and be like, well, I left my papers in the closet, but we could probably just snort it and it'd be okay.
In this world, the hard drugs are the ones you snort, or the light drugs are the ones you snort, and the hard drugs are the ones that you like roll up and smoke like a plant.
Beautiful.
At
the
this
opposite.
point, Bromley just casually walks by with an empty glass and it dips it in to dust it like it's a mojito or a margarita, and then just walks back to where the liquor is.
Love that.
Ophie, the 17-year-old high school boy, is just like,
Waxy definitely takes out one of those like old timey little mini spoons, scoops up a little bit, and is like, "Let's go, baby!"
It's like your opium spoon.
Yeah. No, I have. They're reused. They're like I have like multiple spoons. I have like a little.
That's actually your spellcasting. That's actually your spellcasting focus.
Yeah.
I love that you don't
My
use your
drug
claw. Like, you could use your claw, but you have spoons anyways.
I'm a woman of class.
Except with the claw.
All right. Yeah.
yeah. So Ophie's gonna just like, I guess. Does Ophie do drugs right? No. Ophie's gonna wait. Ophie's gonna wait to do drugs.
Is this Ophie's? I guess he's gay now. Moment.
Yeah, I guess he's a drug addict now. Just kidding. Addiction's real. Like, it should not be
Addiction
made
is
fun of, unless I just did it. So. Yeah, so he's not gonna. Or wait, are you telling me to roll to see if I fall into the temptation to do the drugs?
No. I'm not
Oh,
doing
okay.
that.
Oh,
All
okay.
for peer pressure.
Roll for peer
Yeah,
pressure.
is this like
You have to
intimidation?
beat all of our
temptation?
rolls.
Oh no.
Everyone roll an intimidation check against Ophie, and then Ophie, you have to roll with disadvantage. I'm just kidding. No one's doing that. Not peer pressure. This isn't happening.
Okay, yeah. So Ophie would just be like, Ophie would turn back to Egan and just like give him the thumbs up, and then Ophie would go to Bromley and Johnny and just say, "Hey, Waxy, Egan, and I are gonna go to the Mirror Self ruins. There were a couple other ruins that I found in this book that I don't know if you guys would want to check out, just to like split up and save time. But it could be useful. The other ones were the
coming out of the ruins.
Rabuk. No, these are not the greater ruins. These are just like smaller ruins not near the greater ruins, but kind of like greater ruins adjacent.
Yes.
Mediocre ruins.
One might even call them lesser ruins.
Yeah, but they're like adjacent to it, as in they're next to it.
Or really like
They're
adjacent ruins.
Yep.
We're really trying to talk them up here.
And then, yeah, Ophie would just say,
There are no monsters coming out of these ruins.
It was the Cresser ruins and the Rabuk ruins, I think. I don't remember. Rabak ruins.
Rabok.
Rabak.
B-R-A, and then cock. Nope, sorry, it's Bach. B-R-A-B-O-C-K. For cock.
BRA. Cock. Just kidding.
I hope the monster in that one is like the Babadook. Babadook and the Babadook.
The gay icon.
We can't fight that. Johnny's an
It's
ally.
now
We can fight
appropriate that
the
I use the stream tag LGBTQIA plus.
Thank God.
At least we're not false advertising.
Right. My chameleon's super gay. Yeah, I mean, so Ophie said that question to both Bromley and Johnny. So I don't know if did either of them respond?
I was confused when you went into your explanation of greater adjacent ruins.
So it's like the lesser ruins, but these ones are great enough that they have a name, so they're the adjacent ruins.
So, are they big or small?
Hey, he's gonna turn his head to Waxey. He's like, Waxey, I didn't ask you enough questions. How big are these ruins?
Waxey's gonna go, I'd say they're like a grower, not a shower, you know?
God damn it.
Oh, wait, no, a shower, not a grower.
Ophie looks back at Johnny with just like pure like disdain. He's just like, fuck, what is happening?
They're small ruins, but they have a lot inside. You know, a lot of potential.
Will we fit? They're full? Is there too much stuff?
That's a great question.
Gray's mom is listening to this.
She's actually not, because they were talking, so I put on headphones. But it'd be really funny. I wish she was now. Ophie, you would know that. So the ruins of Crester and the ruins of Vakok, are both just lesser ruins. They're not actually named. They just are ruins of the pantheons of the gods. The only one that's actually named is the mirror itself.
Okay.
But from your previous research, you would know that the Cresta ruins kind of like have like one entrance up throughout the rest of like the surrounding islands, and they seem to be these like big ruins that seem to kind of go underground between each of the islands, and it's almost like a tunnel system that connects the smaller islands. And then the ruins of Ravok is just kind of like one big chasm that seems to just go on endlessly. It's a big old hole.
Okay, I tell them that, and I say, I don't know if you guys would want to check out the one, not the one that goes on forever, because that doesn't sound promising.
Well, if it goes on forever, doesn't that mean there's infinite possibility for things to happen?
There might be treasure there. We just gotta go deep enough.
Statistically, there's definitely treasure there.
Actually, statistically, wouldn't it be the opposite, that there's no treasure there? Because if you divide something by infinity, it becomes nothing.
Well, no, it's more so that there's an infinite possibility because it's endless. So
Is that what number is that?
Ophie's
Waxey,
like,
are you
hey, I don't
Keep
really
going.
care about math. Hello, I'm here for the ruins. We're here for the ruins. And he's like holding the book that he was reading.
Ruins, let's go. And Johnny just leaves. Doesn't know where he's going. He just heard ruins. And the last thing he remembers about them is that there's a fight there, so he just walked somewhere. Doesn't know where. Maybe he's just lost in the room. Doesn't remember how to get out.
And then I guess Ophie would go to Bromley and be like, hey, do you think you should go... Can you go check on him and make sure he's okay? Please?
I think it's good.
John Rat goes, and you guys goes. All right.
Let me put it
we
this
have
way.
a plan. Okay.
You can't beat him in rock, paper, scissors because his hand is just going to kill you. I think he's good.
Yeah, I think it's rock, paper, scissors. Claw!
Yeah, you said my name.
You have to say it like.
Bromley's plan is to, like John Rat said earlier, about maybe doing a circle around the island to see if you, any investigation. I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Cool. John Rat comes up and he goes, "All right, so do we have a plan? Kind of for like what's everyone doing? I can guide you to where you need to be for each kind of thing. If we're splitting up, if we're staying together, like what's going on."
Ophie would say, thank you, John Rat, but we do not need you as we have Waxey. And then he gestures to Waxey.
And Waxey would... Oh, I don't know if I want to do this.
Off to a great start.
I want Gray to have to be an NPC. Waxey would hold out her arm and go, "Come on, John Rat, let's go on an adventure."
So John Rat goes, yeah. He goes, "All right." He's still in his made out for when he made chili earlier. So he goes, "All right, this is my duty." And he grabs his armor into, and he goes, "All right, guys, follow me." He's going to point at Johnny. What are you doing?
I think I am still gonna go pick up a shift at the ruins, since they said they're going to the ones that aren't being active. There aren't monsters actively coming out of them. Johnny knows how strapped these people are for like bodies and stuff to put in the way, so he's gonna go do that for a bit. Something he knows he's actually useful at doing.
Okay, cool. So John Rat's gonna point at you, Johnny, and be like, "Listen, we'll take you back to the port. You know your way through the Cradle at this point. Like, the camp. Can you get can you figure that out, or should I? Could we all come with you back to the mainland and then help you on your way? Is that what what do you think we should do?"
It's like
Can you make
I remember there was I'm going to do an intelligence check to actually see if Johnny remembers. I rolled 1 history, natural 2 that became a 1. It's the one. It's in the building, right, with the big cat. And we heard the
he goes,
fighting.
"All right, we're all gonna the big cat. We're all gonna go back to the main port, and then we'll separate our ways from there. As that seems to be the plan. And you guys all leave, get back onto the boat that you guys had gotten on prior, make your way back to the port. As you get to the port and disembark, John Rat goes, Bromley, I will point you to the port master. He'll he'll help you to kind of travel around the islands and figure out what's going on. And Johnny, I think you guys see Howard has actually gotten up and he's waiting at the port and he's waving, and he goes, Howard looks like he'll take you to the guard post basically.
That was good.
And so, yeah. So, let's see. How are we going to do this? We'll start with Bromley. Bromley, you guys land at port. You guys start to set off. John Rat and Ophie and Egan and Waxey all go their separate ways. And Bromley points at you, John Rat points at you and goes, "Listen, over here is the quartermaster for the port." And he points you over to a satyr. He's the port master. You see a portly little satyr. He's got an eye patch on, little kind of captain's hat, 3-point hat, and he's just kind of yelling orders. And he goes, "Get those guys over there!" And he goes, John Rat says, "That's Gibbons over there. He'll help you out, kind of like traveling around. Basically, we'll figure something out." So he points you at Gibbons.
Okay, so I'm gonna go up to Gibbons and just, "Oi!"
Oi!
Maid told me to come talk to you.
He goes, Rat! Yeah. Cool. What's up? Why do you need to talk to me, Kenku?
We're looking to get hoping to get off the island, but there's the monster in the waters that no one's seen.
Yeah, we can't do that.
I was looking to take a lap around the island. Won't gather any clues to hunt it.
Oh yeah, okay, all right, that's great, cool. You see, he takes he like gestures you over, and he takes you up to a little like dinghy, and he goes, "This is my personal boat. We're gonna hop in that, and we're gonna do some island hopping, and we'll see if we can find any clues." And he starts to, he starts to row basically for a little while, and just like goes, "Huh, huh," and then you guys get about like 500 feet out from the port, and suddenly he seems to cast like shape water or something, and the boat turns into a speedboat and just starts zooming off, and going on to like you start ping-ponging between different islands. Give me an investigation check. We'll do one investigation check for now. Actually, give me investigation or nature.
Ooh. 30-20.
For what?
For investigation.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely start to see some tracks on the first island that you come up on. It just happened to be that the first one you ping-ponged on was directly in the path that the monsters seem to be coming off of the mountains. They are on that dirty 20. You would see that these are more kind of like reptilian footprints. They they're not like they're like big footprints. Like you can step in one and still have like 10 feet in radius on either side of you. Basically, that's like how big they are. And you see it's kind of like lumbering off, and there's like a trail behind it leading as it like kind of goes through the islands. You do see on that dirty 20 though, like kind of like the next place to go to, so you can just continuously follow the trail. Let me read this thing that Johnny sent. Okay, great. Johnny, so we'll cut from Bromley for a second. We'll cut back over to Johnny. Johnny, you, Howard, and you are walking, and he goes, "So, it was quite a hook that you got there."
Like I thought I hit you with my claw. I didn't hit you with a hook.
Yeah, it was like a, you know how they say like a right hook and a right, you got a left hook, right
Yeah,
hook.
like if you lose a hand, you put a hook on your right hand so that you could still like grab the rigging and stuff on the ship.
He goes, yeah.
But I have both of my hands.
Yeah.
And I hold up my hand and my claw and click it.
He kind of like puts his arm on your shoulder and he goes, "You had quite a claw. That was quite a claw that you hit me with."
Oh yeah, and I click it a bit, and my tattoos on it start glowing.
He goes, "Yeah, that was pretty sick. We could definitely use you around here if you wanted to stay for longer. We're really hurting for people. I know that John Rat said that you wanted to come, to help us out right now, and we really appreciate that. I just hope that I also heard you, since you're helping us out tomorrow, that you're not too tired for our fight tomorrow. You know what I mean? Just, take some rest too."
Definitely, I'll just do what I can so that I'm ready for tomorrow to fight this big thing. But I wouldn't worry too much. I'm built pretty tough stuff.
Okay, he goes, "All right. You guys walk through the cradle. It's colder, and it's in the middle of the day, so the sun is high. The snow is kind of on the ground. It's really that bright snow reflection that's happening. And you guys walk through, and you make it to the barracks. And Howard goes, "This is Shelfer. You guys see, what is the races on this one? You guys see a centaur, he's standing behind the barracks, and he goes, Howard goes, "This is Shelfer. He will help you, sign up basically for like a day shift or whatever you want to do." And Howard leaves.
Good riddance.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go over and just tell me where I need to go, and I'll stop whatever's coming through. You don't need to worry about it.
Shelfer like turns around. He's got like he's like a built centaur. He's got like a nice glossy like brown back. He's wearing full plate on the top part of him, and he's also wearing like the Legionnaire's horse like armor. So he's like full decked out, and he goes, "Yeah, all right. You here for one of the new recruits? What are you doing here? We haven't seen you Triton in a while."
Here on contract. Tomorrow they have us shipping out to hunt the big monster, so I figured today I'd get some work in and help you guys out here. The big cat said you were really hurting for people.
He goes, "The big cat. Who's the big
the
cat?"
really big one. And his mom is
big cats
the
around
flappy
here.
cat.
There's the flappy cat. He's gonna make a little intelligence check to see if he can figure this out. He figures out. He goes, "Oh, Rising Dawn. You met the general, and I assume his mom."
Yeah, his mom is one of my, what's the word? It's not wards because I'm not like their parent, but like, I'm a protector from my last job. It's a holdover. I'm traveling with them, and she's one of the people I was assigned to protect.
Waxey, like in the distance, just on her breath, like, I don't need your damn protection.
Shelfer goes, "Yeah." Well, he's like, "That's a mighty task. She's escaped from us, She's run away at least 3 times. This is the first time though that she's made it all the way outside of the port. So that's that was pretty big. I guess we thank you for bringing her back to us. Don't really know what we do without her guidance. She's a big help." And he goes, "But yeah, so obviously you're able enough." He signs you up and says, "Yeah, you'll get 50 gold for 8 hours. If you're helping out with the monster tomorrow, then we'll have you do the 8 hours now, and just send you on your way. We want everyone to be in tip-top shape tomorrow at dawn."
Perfect, works for me. Just tell me where to go, and I summon my giant great sword.
He points you. He goes, you don't need that right now. We seem to be in a lull." But he points you in the direction, kind of like behind him. The barracks are like right now. It's like a big cloth tent that has like kind of like some of those the stones in the back, like warming it up and holding it down. And he points you behind you, and you see these huge, towering ruins. They look like it's like Greco-Roman Colosseum kind of style, huge columns, marble white, and you see just a bunch of people kind of standing out and just like fighting a bunch of beasts and everything against this like huge marble like kind of column and like chasm almost. If you look at it just right, you can kind of see that there's light, but it's also a gaping maw of blackness as the monsters and the beasts kind of come streaming out.
You need me to go there?
Huge.
Point to it.
Yeah, he goes, yeah, over there.
I literally
he hands you a little sticker. He puts a little sticker on you on like your lapel, and he goes, and it says day guard, and he goes, go, I guess.
Literally, I just charge as fast as I can.
Great. So you guys, you do that, and you go and spend your day helping out the guards.
Oh, also, Johnny, since it's a lot of monsters, Johnny goes all in, so I'll activate my tattoo, and rumors start spreading around the town of this giant octopus triton swinging around a giant sword, just going absolutely anime crazy.
Oh yeah, the people have no idea what's going on. They say there's a rumor that like monsters coming out of the like greater ruins suddenly stopped, and these tentacles kind of came up from the group of the guards, and then just started going ham. And they were kind of like it was the War of Beasts and Sea is what they're kind of calling that day, because it was so wild. We will now cut to John Rat, Ophie, Egan, and Waxey. John Rat takes you guys.
John Rat's here.
Like
he came with us.
Yeah,
he actually came with us.
I assume so. That's what Waxey wanted to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ophie's very mad about this.
All right. Yeah. So John Rat takes you guys. He follows you guys down to this. He takes you kind of like past where you guys crashed in. You guys see your boat there still. No one's coming to pick it up. They're too busy. He takes you about quite a whiles past there. And you guys come upon this clearing. It's like the cliffs of Dover, basically. But it's like kind of like rocks are everywhere, and there's like the Greco-Roman columns and all sorts of things kind of like littered around. And it's obviously that this may be the spot of a ruin. John Rat kind of points up on a hill that kind of shows up as you guys are walking closer, and you guys see the same kind of columns, but they're like could keep going up higher and higher and higher, and suddenly they conjoin into a point, and in that point you guys see a pitch black door, and it's just like 2 foot diameter columns joined together, and it's like a doorway almost, and this pitch black, matte black space in between. And that's so. And John Rat goes. That's
I would immediately.
Those the ruins of Mirror Self.
Ophie would first look at John Rat and say, "All right, thank you, John Rat, for your services. I think you can head back to the Cradle now."
He looks at Waxey and goes, "Ma'am, do you want me to leave?"
I'm gonna have Waxey roll a perception check, and to see how how attentive she is to that conversation happening, because she's currently making lines for everyone.
Okay.
Can I roll a insight check on that comment from Ophie?
Yeah, you can. Give me a deception check, Ophie. What?
I got an 18.
Oh, he rolled a natural 4.
Yes.
Yeah. So what is Ophie? What does Egan see?
Okay, because Egan has like obviously more intuition about Ophie than probably anyone else ever. I'd say that Egan knows that Ophie wants to talk to Waxey and hang out with Waxey for like a very specific reason to Ophie that he doesn't want other people to know. So he's created the circle of like the one person he trusts in this world, and then the one person he kind of wants to get to know better, and he doesn't want anyone else there because he's afraid of like him being vulnerable to someone he doesn't want to be vulnerable to.
So I immediately catch this, like, pat my hand on Ophie's back, and it was like, yeah, thanks, John Rat, like, really appreciate it, man. And while my hand is behind Ophie's back, I cast message to Waxey and say, can you please ask him to go back?
Waxey also rolled decently high on the I rolled with disadvantage and still got a 16 because I'm high.
Okay.
And so yeah.
So
she
what Waxey would hear or gain from Ophie is just that, like, probably not the same stuff, but just that, like, Ophie wants to talk to you, but he's afraid of other people hearing what he might have to say.
Yeah. So Waxey would say, "Oh, John Rat dear, I'm sure you have plenty of other things to attend to, and as you know, I can definitely take care of myself. And if you try and stay, well, you know what'll happen."
You don't even need to roll an intimidation check. He's gonna go, listen, ma'am, you do not need to do that. I am perfectly happy leaving you guys to your business. General Rising Dawn has obviously made it clear that these two are your envoys and are perfectly willing to protect you. And John Rat leaves.
She would like squeeze his cheek and hand him a prestidigitation strawberry candy. Go, such a sweet boy.
When Egan hears Waxey say, "You'll know what happened," Egan just turns and is like, and looks at Ophie, but says nothing.
We're gonna make a little Arcana check for John Rat here to see if he knows this is fake or not. John Rat rolled a 6, so John Rat does not know. He goes, he has a little smile on his face, unwraps it, pops it in his mouth, and then about 5 minutes later, you hear guys go. You hear down the way go, "Fuck!" as it just kind of like dissolves and like disappears.
Yeah. I was gonna say the prestidigitation. Like I'm doing not only the physical object, but like the flavors, the everything. Like he still enjoyed it.
I know, but it disappears after a second. So like he's enjoying it in his mouth, right? But it only lasts for like what, a minute or something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think you can make objects last like a minute.
1 hour.
so it's 1 hour. Okay, so I guess he
That
eats it,
sounds
but
about
then
right.
like an hour later, his stomach gets like really hungry as he ate pure magic, and then it disappeared from his body. So he was like, his brain was like, "Hey, that was some good glucose." Wait a minute, there was never any glucose to begin with. And
His cells
yeah.
were just doing anaerobic respiration the whole time.
Exactly.
Now he's
Exactly.
just sore for no reason.
He's so tired and so out of breath and just absolutely sore. He's like, oh. All right. Yeah, so John Rat leaves, and just you guys are alone at these ruins with this kind of like, you guys know in Hollow Knight where the void, those the things you can't pass through without the dash. This
Yes.
only I think works for maybe 2 or 3 of us. That's basically what this place looks like.
Okay. So it's like very like dark, sinister.
Yeah, but
like,
only within the stone columns.
Yeah,
Stone column
yeah.
doorway.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So
The rest of
there's
it is kind of like a really nice, like breezy kind of day.
so
Okay.
inside of the columns are just writhing shadows.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ophie would turn to these shadows and try to like cast light in it.
It absorbs the light and it dissipates.
And then,
Waxey would rip a line and be like, "All right, who's next?"
Ophie says, maybe we should get inside first, Waxey. How do you get inside this?
Waxey would be finishing her second line and go,
Well, actually, I'm gonna say that you probably have never been inside these ruins. I'm just gonna say that.
"Okay, yeah." Waxey would be like, well, we only ever climbed up to the top of the columns. We never actually went inside. So, I'm not entirely sure, but I think walking's a good start."
Yeah, Ophie would like to do like an Arcana check on.
I'm also going to do an Arcana check.
Yeah, do an Arcana check.
Ooh, fuck yeah, that's
Waxey
a
also give me an
24.
Arcana check.
Yeah.
Egan only got a 13, so he's a little distracted right now.
Okay.
Waxey's highs are kite and got a 7.
Okay. Waxy, you feel some of your stuff kind of. You feel your magic pulse a little bit, but that's really all you get from this place. You did not feel this when you were younger and you were here. This is a new feeling you've gotten, but that's all you get. Egan, on what did you get? A 13?
13.
Yeah. This is a ruin. This could be shadow magic. This could be something, but it's unlike anything you guys have ever seen. This is, however, different than what you saw in our first session on that lesser ruin. Nothing's going on with that. Ophie with a 24. This is magic straight from the Pantheon realm. This is magic from this is straight from the goddess Loth. Basically, this is Loth's ruin. This is god magic, basically.
Waxey would say, "Whoa, do you magic users always get that tickle in your loins every time you come to something spooky?"
No. Wait, you you have like a patron, right? You're one of those like warlocks.
Yep.
So, have you felt that feeling before?
Nope.
Okay, so I don't really know how warlocks occur. We're taught very heavily that the only clean kind of magic is through your own prowess of being a wizard and studying.
Waxey wouldn't hesitate. Her paranoia of being high, she would grab him by the shirt and go, "Listen to you, little shit. My magic isn't impure."
Ophie's like panicking. He's like, no, I was just asking you questions. I don't have those thoughts. The people in my hometown suck. I didn't mean that. I was
picking in more cards for this shit. You think I didn't slave away trying to figure out the magic? You think I don't practice these strawberry candies every fucking day? And she starts throwing like 10s and 20s behind her back. She's like, you think I don't slave?
Egan's gonna cast Shape of Water to splash water on the both of them to like the like calm yourself down type moment.
Ophie would say, I'm really sorry, Waxey. I really didn't mean for that to be in any way offensive. I just meant that I didn't really know how connections to magic worked, and I was then going to follow up and ask you, do you think your patron might have a connection to the weird goddess?
Waxey would like completely just turn face and be like, "Oh, sweetheart, yeah, no, probably."
Can I ask you a follow-up question? And you see that like I'll just like say that like Ophie is like doing these gestures, like he's kind of just like he's a little nervous about asking these questions.
Waxey would like grab both or one of his hands with both of her hands and be like, "Sweetheart, like you can trust me with anything. I'm a little baby boy."
Well, I guess I just don't know how these like warlock patrons work. Like, how did you find your patron, or did they find you? Did you just like wake up and somehow your source of magic has changed? And, you know,
Gray.
What?
I guess I'm gonna ask Gray. Like, there are a few things you and I talked about, and there's like an image I have in my head. Would you like me to just spitball, and then anything I say that is incorrect based off of lore, you can just stop and correct me?
Okay, so my question is since you're not a fiend warlock, right? Mm-hmm. That does kind of change the overall, like, it changes the flavor of the patron. It doesn't, however, change like how you got it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So just spitball, and I'll try and correct based on whatever.
Okay. Also, the other thing too, I don't know, at least to my memory, which is bad. I don't remember who my patron is in your lore, like which of the gods I was
don't think I may have told you. No, I did tell you who it was. It's the I'll just say this. It's the oldest spirit in the I'm just gonna call it what it is. The Calamity Realm. That's kind of like the pantheon of gods reside in the Calamity Realm, and you are patroned. Your patron is the oldest possible spirit in the Calamity Realm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you would know that. That's basically what it is.
Do I know their name?
Great Old Spirit.
Okay.
that's
Sure.
Waxey's
Existed before names.
So Waxey would be like, well, I suppose it's relatively interesting. As you know, I'm about middle-aged at this point, but coming forward in my life, and after my husband passed, I found myself slowing down in spirit a bit. Physically, I'm still as tough as a nail, but in spirit, I was drifting. And it was late one evening, and I felt myself more tired than usual. Not wishing for death, but wishing to see the doors and wiggle their handles a bit. And in those moments, my spirit drifted away from me. I don't know whether I was dreaming or whether it was something kind of like this weird door here, but I felt both close to my husband and worlds away at the same time. But I came to listen a little bit closer and heard my voice reflect back to me. What?
You heard. Yo, what the fuck's up?
Did I really?
Yes, that's what you heard.
And I heard the strangest thing. There was a assumed collegiate lacrosse player in the distance who said to me, "Yo, what the fuck is up?" and her voice changes that drastically.
Wow, you're really good at impressions.
I have. And she goes, I responded with, I feel my soul fleeting. The only thing keeping me grounded to this earth is my beautiful son and my rippling muscles. And
As soon as you say that, Egan looks straight at the arm flaps, just confused.
And she goes, and then she goes, and I suppose I'm looking for some sort of a second wind. And back to me, he said, "Yeah, girl, I can tell you're cut as fuck. Oh my god, look at that." Like,
Oh no! I wanted to play the patron. I've been waiting.
Go for it. Yeah.
I was like, you can't play the patron. I'm playing the patron. He goes. Listen. You're old. Don't even play about it. You're old. I'm fucking old. Let's just make some powers together, shall we? You know, right? Like, that's what you want to do?
How?
Is this patron trying to lay pipe? Like, what's going on here?
I'm not playing it. I'm not playing it as well as I wanted to. Basically, what I'm trying to do is, this patron is just going to talk to Waxey like a normal person rather than being a god to a person.
Love that.
Ophie is learning so much about warlocks right now.
Can this please be like ancient Greek, like the gods definitely have sex with the people?
No, so this is kind of like a huge amorphous like blob spirit that kind of like transforms how you want it to kind of be seen at certain points. But the thing that you can see the most is it's got an old ass beard. It's got
Egan definitely wants him.
It's like a blob, and it's got a beard.
I can see.
This man is in a lacrosse crop top jersey and just one leaf over his junk.
I was just gonna say the only things I can see here are the beard and the penny.
Yeah, it's got a penny on in an attempt to be younger, and then it's also got a full beard. But it's still an amorphous spirit
That's incredible.
Okay.
And it's just listen, let's just I can give you powers, right? And you can go on.
And to that, Waxey would say, I was not telling the full truth before. Yes, my son is one of the things, but as you may have been able to notice, my rippling muscles are now covered by loose skin, and I'm still jacked, but it's not the same. And then
Ophie would just interject quickly, but you look great. You look great.
She would go, "Oh, sweetheart," and then she would back into the narration. She'd go, and if I'm being completely honest again, my bench dropped from 380 to 275, and I just am afraid. So that would be lovely. I would love to get to know you better, make some magic, and be strong and powerful. We can both.
Egan, audibly out loud, it was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "I struggle putting the book back on the top shelf."
Yeah, so that wonderful thing happens. Wonderful story that's going on. So, what do you guys want to do next?
Ophie would just say a last thing before he'd kind of go into the into the ruins, and he was like, so he'd just be like, so you made the deal with your warlock patron?
She would go, how do I word this? I don't know if it was as much of a deal as more of a plan to grab chilies later, but I don't know. I mean, I'm imbued with all this power now, so sure.
Ophie would say, maybe he looks a little more confused than he was at the start of this, but he's like, okay, and he just pauses briefly, and he says, looks at Waxey, just thank you, thanks for telling me that, definitely learned a lot. And then he's gonna turn around and just walk towards the ruins. And he is he's just gonna walk into it.
Sick. Ophie, you just walk into it. We're gonna cut back over to Bromley real quick. Bromley, you are scooting around these different islands. You're following the trail real tight. You get closer and closer to the edge of the where these big port gates are, where a lot of ships are going back and forth and around. And Gibbons goes, This is where we've lost the most ships. This is it. This is where we lost the most ships. We gotta stay safe in this small little area here, if we want to be not killed right now. Give me an investigation or a nature check, and we'll say it with advantage because of your dirty 20 from earlier.
Another dirty 20.
Shut up.
I have a
You
plus
know-
7 for investigation.
Love
You know what this is. The trail is not fresh, but you've been following it for a while, and you land on the final island before the port gates, and you step into one of these tracks again, and this skidding behind it, and you look, and it kind of looks like it laid down for a second and compressed its steps, and there's a shell outline. This was the tracks of a dragon turtle that has gone out of the water from the ruin and is stopping the port from opening. There is a dragon turtle, 500 feet away from you, sitting in the port and killing ships. And that is what everyone will be going out to tomorrow. Yeah. See, and Gibbons goes. What do you see?
Oh, we are right fucked then.
He goes, oh no, why?
Off. I just start drinking.
He goes, oh no, is that bad, huh? And he takes out a flask that he has, and he just downs the full thing. And he goes, well, if that's not good. And he starts to ping pong back between the islands. He's going to actually take you. He goes, man, you look like a man who knows how to drink. Let's take a libation. And he brings you to like kind of this middle island surrounding the Cradle, far enough away from the port. But it's like a small little town here. It's a bunch of satyrs. It's a satyr town, and you see like a blacksmith and a pub and a few other things. It's like a small general store area kind of stuff. He brings you into this pub and he just goes, mentions to the barkeep and says, let's get the shots going. Just a bunch of shots. I don't even know what we're drinking to, but we need a bunch. And you guys start to have drinks at this bar. Now that you kind of know what the fight tomorrow morning will bring. Yes, we will cut back now from Bromley to Ophie. Does anyone else walk into the ruin?
I will say, can I just say, like, before this, like, just, like, to get you what's going through Ophie's head as he does this, is he just, like, had this moment where, like, he was, like, asking Waxey those questions, like, to gain insight into something he's quite concerned about. And to kind of, like, he realized, like, oh, something's not the same, I'm not the same. So he just kind of like goes into this like void in a pure like self-reflective mode. Like he's just like, whatever happens, I don't know who I am, just take me. Just like, let's see what the mirrored goddess has for me.
Sick.
I'm gonna die.
Does anyone else follow?
Yeah, Egan's definitely gonna follow. He's gonna cast Produce Flame, so we have a torch in this chaos. And I'm gonna send...
Torch is immediately extinguished.
Terrifying. I'm gonna send my Mankling a little ahead of us because he has a passive perception is 15, but he's what's the word I want? Proficient in perception and investigation and insight.
He walks out the other side unscathed.
Yeah, so Ophie's just gonna continue walking.
Egan's gonna follow.
Yeah. Waxey, what are you doing?
There's a small part of me that wants Waxey to cast gaseous form on herself because she's high and just being like kind of float in. But
what does Waxey do?
I don't want to waste a spell slot, so she'll for like a beat, she'll just pause and kind of reflecting on that moment, kind of her lowest moment that brought her to her next stage in life, and she's gonna prestidigitation the strawberry candy, look at it, smile a little bit, unwrap it, eat it, and then walk inside after them.
Okay, tight.
Can I?
We're going to start. Yes.
Past dancing lights.
You can, but as soon as you do it, the lights are extinguished again. This is pure blackness. There's no lights coming in, no lights coming out. Nothing is going on. It's just this light. And I will remind you that the Minkling walked in and then immediately walked out, like it was walking through a doorway.
Like walked back at us?
No, it walked through the arch. So it walked out and then it kind of turned around and started walking back to you guys.
Yeah, I mean Ophie's Ophie's walked in. Ophie's
yeah.
Okay, Ophie didn't even care about
we're gonna start with Ophie.
He was just going.
Yep.
He just walked right in.
Cool. Ophie, you come out the other side on a ruin. This is the greater ruin of Submela. It kind of crumbles behind you, and you have cleared it, kind of, what it seems to be. This is, you have documents with you, you have books with you, you have a whole bunch of stuff with you at this time. You fan through these books really quickly, and you see notes upon history, upon all of the information of the ruins. You have cleared. You've gone through almost completely the Cradle, Flitterdown, and even Kiln's greater ruins. You only have one left that was supposedly the Submela ruins, and you have so much history on your side. You have gone through so much exploring. However, as you walk past kind of like a mirrored surface, you see tendrils, yellow tendrils, all through the cracks in your Earth Genasi skin. Your eyes are a sickly yellow, and you are just radiating powerful magical energy. There is nothing that can stop you at this moment. You are probably the most powerful being you will ever be at this time.
Can I?
Yeah. What? Yeah.
Ophie would just. He's kind of alone right now, right?
Yeah, there seems to be some people kind of around you as you exit the ruins, but yeah, you're alone.
Okay, so while he's alone in this kind of magical state, he's just gonna go up to the mirror, looking at himself, looking at this immense amount of power, and in himself, and he's just gonna touch the mirrored surface, and just touch where his finger would meet, and just kind of have the thought in his head that, is this what we become?
As you touch the mirror, it shatters, and you find yourself suddenly walking through your aunt's house. You're still radiating this magical power. However, everything around you is it's kind of dusty. It's decayed. There's mushrooms kind of popping up everywhere. You see little spores coming up from the carpet as you walk through, and little dust comes up. You walk up into your aunt's bedroom, and you see they're all dead. You haven't. There is mushrooms coming off of them. One of your aunt's chest is caved in, and there are just mushrooms kind of popping out. Just your whole aunt's family is gone.
Ophie would, he would like run up and just kind of start like destroying the mushrooms and like this, like any fungus that's like on his aunt's chest, and just like kind of just like digging at it. He's like frantically digging at it. And he's just like thinking like, what have I done? Did I do this? I didn't want you to die. It always felt like you wanted me to die. And he's just like digging and digging and digging, and he's crying. He's definitely
you dig and just tear through your aunt's like rib cage and the rotting kind of like paper thin skin at this point, your hand hits something, and you pull out your wizard book, your spell book. It is old, it is musty, it has not been opened, it looks like for many years. And
he loses it. He fucking loses it. He's sobbing in this moment. Like, he sees his wizard book that looks like it hasn't been opened and mushrooms everywhere. He's feeling so lost and confused right now that he just loses it. Yeah, he completely, like, he just starts crying, and he like goes and touches his like cousins and his aunt, and he's just saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, over and over and over again.
As you touch your aunt, after you touch your cousins and touch everybody else and try and find out what's happening, it's no longer your aunt. It's Egan.
He's bawling, just absolutely bawling now to like see that chain. Oh my god, he's lost it.
Egan's fire is out. He has mushrooms growing out of his eyes, and his spell book is open, and it just says, it flips open, and it just says why. And then it snaps shut, and you walk out of the ruin, the other side, unscathed.
Before does Egan have his ring on?
Egan does not have his ring. No, you have both. Right before you cut out, Egan does not have his ring. You have both rings on your finger. You notice as you leave the ruin.
Yeah, he's devastated. He's just fucking.
You just walk right through, and you're back to the time at these cliffs, and it's a pleasant day outside, and everything is normal again. Your rummy nose runs up to you, kind of rummies chitters on your leg, and yeah. Yes, Egan, what's up? Everyone, yes, what's up?
Waxey can go first.
Oh, I was gonna say, after we're done going through everyone's assumed scene, can you go back and say what Austin's familiar scene was?
Yeah.
Can I just have one last quick question? Sorry, Austin.
Yeah.
I just want. Am I now looking into the ruins? Like, what am I looking at, or am I looking back out? Like, did I turn myself around, or am I like looking into the ruins deeper, or is there just like cliffs instead of any more ruins?
No, so like it's just the cliffs. So like the scene is basically there's this doorway of inky blackness, and you just walk through it to the other side, and if you turn around, you just see cliffs, and you see the line. If you turn back around, look past the other side of the the other side of the columns that you just walked through. You see the lines that Waxey set out that no one did. It looks like you took 1 second to walk through. However much time it takes to walk through a doorway.
For what it's worth, after I tried to cast Produce Flames and Mihos the Minkling tried to cast Dancing Lights, I would have immediately followed Ophie as well. So before I even realized he was like around me, I was like, I would have dove in as well.
Oh no, these all happen instantly. If you're all following through, this is all happening instantaneously.
Yes, okay.
Yeah. We'll cut immediately from there. We'll cut to Egan. Egan, you are at graduation. You walk through these doors. It's not graduation. You are at a coronation. You are at the coronation for the next ruler of Samela. You see that these huge red carpets come out on top of you, and this huge red carpet unfurls in front of you, and you walk out these huge double-paned, huge glass doors to a screaming crowd of people below you. You come up and for a blur, you seem to speak to the crowd, but you don't really remember what you said, and it just kind of cuts away from there as you kind of like sit down, and they put a huge kind of like circlet on your head. Everyone is screaming. Everyone seems to be happy. All of the races are getting along together. All of the everyone, all your brothers and your sister are there. All of the nobles aren't partying. Everyone's there. Everyone's getting along. Give me an insight check.
Woof. 9.
That was better than what it started at.
Yeah.
We're proficient. That saved us a little bit.
Yeah. Let's see, on a 9 insight, you get the feeling that something good has happened. Something good has happened in Samela, but that's really all it seems to be. You get right now. You're a little too swept up in what's happening. The day kind of continues on. There seems to be more and more banquets. You get through, and you get kind of into your room. You get a quiet self. It's your moment, and you kind of start playing with your magic. You flip through your spell book. You see you have mastered all of the chronergy spells. You have mastered all time and space and matter. Magic is yours to command at will. Through your own prowess, through everything that you have worked for. Your brother and sister come up to you and they clap you on the back. They're like, oh my God, Ophie, we're so proud of you. We always knew you had it in you, and we were always worried that freeloader Ophie was gonna bring you down. But we're
Egan
so
immediately
happy.
Takes a step away from them when they say that, and just looks super confused and says, "Where is Ophie?"
They're like, what are you talking about? You left Ophie years ago. You look down, as they say that, you look down on your fingers, your ring is gone as well.
He's staring over himself, trying to figure out where he would have left his ring, and just says, "No, that's impossible. I would never leave Ophie. Where is Ophie? Why is he
look at you and they look at you and they go, you cut ties with him right after graduation. You destroyed your ring. You couldn't handle what he was doing."
That doesn't make sense. He's my best friend. I would never leave him, no matter what he does.
I don't know what to tell you. This is completely uncharacteristic. You haven't talked about Ophie in years.
Have all magic. Point. I want to cast Convergent Future. See if there's any future in that I ever meet back up with Ophie.
Yeah. You go all of the magic.
Very
in front
Doctor
of you.
Strange moment.
Yes, yeah. You see all of the possible futures. None of them you meet up with Ophie again. There is one where there's about a third of them where something seems to be off. But everything, you don't see Ophie in any of the futures.
I come out of that. I have my level of exhaustion. Just drop to my knees and I'd repeat like this doesn't make sense. Like I need to find Ophie. I wouldn't leave Ophie. He wouldn't leave me.
They go as you say that. They kind of like look at you again, and they go as words start to come out of their mouth, but you can't hear them. Your ears seem to be full of like wool, and then you're suddenly at a party, dancing with this most beautiful Air Ganassi there ever was, just swirling, whirling around, doing all of this stuff, but the thing is that it's not just Ganassi here. You see all of the races of Submela come together in harmony. You have, this is what on the other insight check, I'm just going to give it to you now. You have succeeded in showing that the nobles aren't lost in Submela. And you have united Submela into this phenomenal kind of utopia of races. And a human comes up to you and he goes, Egan, you have done a remarkable job here. I'm glad that you left ruin diving behind all those years ago to really pursue magic. You have, Submela has surpassed Amnella in terms of power. This is incredible. We look up to you now for our leadership of streams.
Do I have any recollection of that last moment, or am I like full blown blinded in this moment again?
No, you still remember. Yeah, it happened, and then it just suddenly happened. You just were boop boop to this.
Yeah. And I was like, "What do you mean? What happened?"
He goes. He starts to say something again, and the wool over your ears appears again. And he goes, the ruins are one thing, but this is something phenomenal, Egan. This is something you couldn't have done we couldn't have done without your help. You really showed the masses what the nobles had to offer. And as he says that, we cut away again, and you walk out of the ruin.
I'm going to immediately see Ophie run and hug him. Not because I know he's crying, but yeah.
Before we do anything else, we're going to cut over to Waxey for our last scene.
I'm not ready. These just have been hard. Oh my god. I'm like in tears.
Yeah, I thought we were celebrating today. This is what you do?
Listen, man. Garrett wanted to go to a ruin of the goddess of the illusions, so you're gonna get goddess of illusions shit.
You can have happy illusions.
Yeah.
As he walks through the gate, he's back again.
That's it. That's the whole illusion.
Actually, no, Waxey, you walk through and you open the doors to the war room where General Dawn was, and you're not as ripped as you used to be. But you're more life. The flab is gone. Your skin is kind of taut again. It looks like you've regained some of your youth. John Rott and Howard come in and they go, General, you did it. Your ideas saved the Cradle. We can leave. This is remarkable. Basically, he's like, John Rad's like, we did it. This is crazy.
Trying to think. There's like two ways that Waxey would respond to this, but I'm trying to think of which one's more characteristic. I feel like on the surface, Waxey would be like, I'm just doing what I thought was best for the Cradle. You know, it's always been for all of you. It's just it is my pleasure to serve. And then she would kind of pause and look to the side and be like, how I'm trying to think of the way she'd word it. She's clever, so she'd be like
And modest.
See, I'm not clever. That's why I'm having a hard time thinking of the words. But she would.
And Dave is modest.
It's fun to roleplay.
But yeah, she. So she'd be like, she'd be like, which steps of the plan succeeded the best? I want to keep track of what worked, was most successful moving forward, at least in your guys' opinion.
He goes, from the minute that you took command, just every step has been 100% successful. Nothing has failed. It's been remarkable.
Halfway through and be like, what happened to Rising Dawn?
As you say, what happened to Rising Dawn, we cut to a year ago. You are emanating this magical energy in the... this is a year, so this would be 3 years in the future, you would think, and then this is cutting back to a year. This is the yearly selection of the leaders, of the general. And it's the final round, and you are crackling with arcane energy, and you have just fired off a shot. You see your son dead after 20 plus years of being in charge of the Cradle, the longest anyone has ever been in the ring, and hole through his chest, and gone. Silent. And you say, you put up, without even being able to kind of understand why you're doing it, you put up a paw, and the magic seems to, you weren't you were that young life self you were in the previous scene. You're back to being a little bit more of your flabby older self, and as you put up your paw in victory, the magical energy sucks your skin to you, and you take on that younger form. And cheers arise as General Waxing Moon has taken her rightful place as the general once again. And we cut back to the scene with John Rat.
Definitely in that scene where Waxey, her body is just going through what happened in the past and she has no control over it. I imagine in my head, as in the movie shot, the camera would be behind, or it would show the scene, show her face, she'd look terrified, it would turn, cut, see the hole in his chest, and then kind of be on her back, and it would be a stance of power, and then raising the paw in the air, and then the crowd screaming, and then the camera would cut, and it would be showing the crowd screaming, then it would cut to her face, and even though the stance is of power, she'd just tears streaming down her face, and she'd look horrified.
Yes. Yeah, tears are streaming down your face, but even for reasons you can't see, there's a smile because you know that you have taken control back.
Okay.
From your son. Yeah. If you want, give me an Arcana check.
Sure. God damn it, a 3.
Oh.
This.
Love it.
You don't know what's going on. You've just taken control. You've killed the one last person in your life that was kind of anchoring you here, besides just being in charge of the Cradle, and you don't know what's going on. You would think, you don't know what's going on. And we cut back to the scene with John Rat. And he goes, "You killed him. That last time, he was obviously unfit to lead."
I feel like in this moment, especially due to Waxy's confusion with that Arcana check, she would, as fast as the 120 feet per 6 seconds, like sprint up to John Rat and like grab him by like his chest and lift him in the air just as high as she could. Like, you dare say a word about, or a bad word about my son? He was the greatest general this country ever had. And then she would throw him across the room.
He smashes through the window. That's kind of like the bay window behind you. And as he smashes through the window, time stops. Shards of magic kind of come around you. The shards kind of fly. Time stops, and you kind of pause. And you see the greater ruins in the background, and you see that no monsters are coming out. And it's almost like it's fully closed. This is something you haven't been able to do in a long time. And you start to reach out to grab one of the shards of glass. And as you do so, you step out of the ruins again. And all three of you are out of the ruins. And that's that.
Waxy would definitely be like visually on edge, like her hair on the back of her fur on the back of her neck and back would be like raised, and she would be like frantically looking around, like, yeah.
Yeah, Ophie's like leaning, absolutely wrecked. And I mean, he came in first, so he doesn't hear anyone behind him. So he's just like, and he's just like too caught up in his emotions to even notice that someone would come behind him.
Egan, immediately seeing Ophie after coming out, it just runs up and, like, classic friend style, like Joey hugs him from behind. Says nothing, but just like squeezes and doesn't let go.
As he holds on to like Egan, and then I guess he would like let go and like turn to face Egan with just like tears streaming down.
Hey.
Back to crying, everyone. Back to crying. We're depressed. He would just like the first thing he would do is just like check to see if Egan still was wearing the ring, and he wasn't, and like he didn't have both of them. And then he would say, he's like, I don't know what just happened. I don't know if I saw my future or what, but Egan, you have to promise me something. If I ever start to become a monster, just take me out. Just take me out.
Egan stops you before you can even finish the like take me out. Egan grabs you by the face and just says, "Stop! You could never," and hugs you.
And he just like collapses into Egan's arms and just like weeps. And I think like through his tears he would like see Waxey, and he would just kind of like, I mean, he would first like care to his friend and but just like give Waxey this look like, you can come too, like if something happened, like we're also here for you.
I want to roll either a perception or I don't know what necessarily to roll, Gray, but on whether or not Waxey knows that she's back to like that didn't happen.
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Okay.
And while he's rolling that check, Ophie would turn to Egan and also like make sure like he's like, you're comforting me, but are you okay?
I don't quite know what I saw. I don't know if it was a future, if it was a possibility. I had become the next ruler of Samela, but all my family kept talking about is that I had left you behind. But I could never dream of it. And you could see he starts to cry.
Ophie, like he would hug him and kind of like reciprocate the same kind of like emotions, and as he's like holding Egan, as like Egan's kind of like relaying what he was, he just kind of like whispers and says, or just, yeah, he probably just think this and say, like, just the thought in his head is, if I become the monster you were all, like, if I become the monster I saw, I would harbor no resentment, basically. And he would just whisper, instead of anything else, he would just say, I'm sorry. And whisper, like, I'm sorry.
Egan just keeps saying, both like in half mumbles, that like, you're my best friend, you're it, like, I'm going nowhere.
Waxey rolled a 7.
Waxey's killing it.
Yeah, Waxey is killing it. You're not. I mean, you look at your body, right, and you can tell right away that that magic that you saw isn't working anymore. If you aren't in the real world, I think this would be just like a DC 5. You can tell that wasn't what happened.
Okay.
You're back in the real world. Waxey can tell this is normal.
Sure. So yeah, then Waxey would, at first, for like the first maybe 7 to 10 seconds, like, be hunched over, like, hyperventilating both out of panic, but also like the rage of throwing John Rat out the window. But and then not like dry sobbing, if that makes sense, or like dry heaving, like kind of like not like weeping, but just like this confusion, this anger, this panic, this everything. And then would kind of like, with red eyes, like slowly, would slowly look up and see the two boys, and then kind of realize that she was having a moment, and the general and her would kick in, and she'd kind of stand up straight and be like, are you boys okay? Like, is there anything I can do? And would kind of, save face and be stoic.
Can I do an insight check on Waxey?
Yep, insight to oppose deception.
Because Ophie definitely, I think, has put 2 and 2 together about what just happened because of all of like his. Oh, that's a natural fucking 20, baby.
I just rolled 15. So.
Yeah, just a 9 for me. So
when the Zardy boys are emotional, we are empathetic.
We're emotional boys. That's what we are.
Friends support friends.
I think Ophie would like just kind of like look at Egan and realize that like we haven't let Waxey in, and Ophie would just like look at Waxey, doesn't really know the right thing to do, so instead of like embracing the formality that he normally does, he just goes up and hugs Waxey and doesn't even like let her stop.
Yeah, Egan, knowing how much Ophie's into Waxey and how much that moment fucked us up, knows that Waxey's also probably pretty hurting right now, and so
is
like,
Ophie trying to lay some pipe?
Oh my god!
Bringing it back.
Let's be honest here. Waxey would peg Ophie. Let's not lie.
Absolutely.
Just morph
First
a
and
skin
foremost.
flap into a
Egan's gonna do the same thing, and he's gonna know if Waxey had anywhere close to a terrible time as we had, that she also needs someone, and is gonna without shying away, also hug Waxey.
Waxey would I guess it would. I would hope it would not. I feel like in character what she would do, but I'd hope it would be interpreted not as a rejection of the hug, because that's far from it. But would definitely kind of arms still would be like down at her side, and she'd be like still breathing quickly but under her breath, and like shaking a bit, and wouldn't say anything for a moment, and then would say just the same thing she said before. Just, are you boys okay? Like, is this got to be something I can do?
Egan wants to try something bold, and just says I want to know I want to know what the fuck just happened. Waxey. Ophie, do you have detect magic?
No.
Or identify? Do you have identify?
Yeah, I
identify?
do have identify. Yeah, Ophie looks at you and is like, yeah, I have identify. Did you want me to cast it on the flames?
Obviously there's some pretty powerful shit. So if there's any way I can help boost your spell, I want to figure out what exactly this veil is or what it does.
Can Ophie just since Ophie read all these books, I think Ophie would just say, I don't know if there's really much to learn from identify. I think what happened was just a reflection of the mirrored goddess of Loeth. I think she just played a trick on us and showed us, at least in my regard, a future that is both exciting but also the most horrifying thing I could ever imagine.
Waxey, I got something I gotta do, but Waxey, what's up?
I was just gonna ask, would Waxey be able to attempt to communicate with her patron and ask?
Abso-fucking-lutely, you could. Yes. But before you do that, give me a what do you say? Give me an Arcana check, with advantage because you're next to this thing straight up coming from the Calamity Realm.
All of us?
But
or?
just Waxey. But Ophie, as you say, God has probably played a trick on us.
Mm-hmm.
A necklace with a diamond on it appears around each of your necks. And it says, if you look at it, with the inscription says, not everything is as it appears. And each of you get that. And it's kind of like this diamond. It's this illusory kind of spiritual, magic is inside of it. And yeah, you each have a diamond, basically. I gave each of you a diamond.
Ooh.
Okay.
Do you say Arcana or?
Yeah, Arcana.
Oh, I'm still high, so only a 7 and a 5.
I mean, I'm not making you roll with disadvantage, so if you want to continue roll with advantage, you can do that.
Can Ophie give him the help action, or give her the help action?
Can we also help somehow?
Ophie can give the help action. Egan cannot.
Okay.
But yes, Ophie, you can give the help action.
Yeah, Ophie would give the help action.
Okay, 16. 16, that's good.
Yeah. You that same pulling comes at you that you were feeling before. And it kind of pulls and pulls and pulls and suddenly tugs enough. You kind of feel it kind of like snaps almost. And you hear a voice in your head go, "Yo, what's up?"
Waxey would, at first, kind of like gasp a little bit, just out of surprise of like, came out of nowhere, and then like, very comfortably, or because they're connected, so like, would be like, "Oh hey, my dude, what's up? Sorry, I'm a bit shaken. Just came out of this weird door. I guess it's maybe why you've come to me, or I've asked for you unwillingly. But
Oh yeah, I can tell that you're at the mirror self thing. Fucking loath to put this here. It's kind of like a big fu to adventurers, I guess. Like oh, come through this. What's gonna happen? Oh, are you gonna get a big a big scary thing is gonna happen to you in the future? Your worst nightmare is gonna come true. But it's like maybe not.
Waxey is not put at ease by this description, but would attempt to play, coy with the demeanor of the old god and be like, "Oh yeah, classic trickster god." Shit. But so you said it's probably not true, or maybe, or it's just kind of a potential.
Listen, illusions are illusions, right? So like they can come true, they can not come true. It's like, this could be one of infinite possibilities that is happening. Who knows where she pulls these things from? And as he says that right before, after he says it, he says, "Oh, also, by the way, your husband heard what you said earlier about he's not going anywhere. He doesn't know if he's going to be there or not." And he says, "Hey, fuck you, Waxey." But he says also, "I love you, and I'll see you around." And then the voice vanishes.
I love that, because that's totally Waxey and her husband's demeanor. Waxey does shed one tear and a smile at that, and turns to the boys and says, and he kind of ruffles both their hair and says, "Don't you boys worry about that mirror. They were all just illusions. Trust me, I know." And I'm gonna roll charisma to see, or perform. I don't know, what would charisma, I guess, but to like
roll. Yeah, just get a flat charisma roll
to like put them at ease.
Can I do a
What would that be? Insight challenge?
Yeah. Do an insight challenge. Lots of opposed checks today.
Dirty 20.
I got a 15.
Yeah, so Egan, you would kind of know that Waxey knows something, but she's maybe not letting on all that she knew. That's that's all you would get.
Egan's not going to say anything.
Ophie, this is what Ophie thinks too, based off of his reading. So he's not going to question how Waxey knows. He doesn't really care. He's kind of too caught up in what just happened. But he is going to do an Arcana check on the diamond to see if there is any magical energy in it, and then if there is, he would like to cast Identify.
Sure.
Oh my god, that's an 11 on that Arcana check.
I mean, you can tell that there's magic inside of it for sure. I mean, the illusory stuff. It looks like a glass. It looks like a real diamond, but it's also like a glass diamond at the same time.
Okay, then I'd cast Identify on it.
Okay, it's really hard not to do Brennan's Identify play, so we're just gonna roll with it. Ah, yes, another use of the Identify spell. This is a reward for those who have gone through the mirror self the mere self-ruin. There is no value in it. It only takes those that are. It only is given to those who walk through the challenge, and but it can be used for the Revivify spell. And then it disappears.
Okay, well, and Ophie would be saying this out loud. Well, this was kind of a big waste of time because I thought we would maybe find something that would help us in killing the thing. So this has been great. And he like looks at the two people he's with that are just like emotionally fucking torn, and he looks at Egan and he's like, I think we should just go sell our big orb dude and fucking make some money.
Egan's gonna clap Ophie on the back of the neck and is just like, let's go sell the big fucking orb dude and make some money.
Hey, Waxey, after we sell the big orb, do you want to spend the money we get on the big orb to buy more drugs?
Waxey puts her hands on both their shoulders and says, boys, I wouldn't want to spend my day any other way.
Okay. And then, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, you guys go. You sell the orb. You guys go back to the general place. You sell the orb. You buy a bunch of fucking drugs, and you get high for the rest of the day. Just absolutely blasted. Yeah. We will call back today. Everyone else kind of converges on Cheers' room from before. Bromley, you come back from the island hopping at just completely plastered after your whole day with Gibbons. And Johnny, you come back just really kind of slightly tired and exhausted from your fighting all day, but honestly, you're probably the best out of everybody right now.
I need a good workout. I'm in that like runner's high kind of thing. I'm just like stretching out, making sure I get a nice healthy drink in, keep my electrolytes and all that up. What's going on here?
Can I just like try it? Like, I'd imagine that the three of us are just like in whatever room we're staying in, or whatever hotel, or like in whatever, or like Waxey's place, just like group hugging each other, stoned as fuck, just crying.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Just absolutely lost it.
it's a combination of that, and then like it's either a scene of that, and then it bounces back and forth between that, and then the three of us like on a single couch, just like completely.
Yeah, just you guys are absolutely plastered. Johnny, you come in and you see this, and then Bromley, you come in later, just absolutely just out of your mind, just gone. What do you guys say to each other?
Nothing.
Yeah. I do not care about them right now.
Johnny like goes over and looks at all of them real close to make sure they're all like alive when they're just sitting on the couch. And then just since he's the only one in a capable physical state, he like sit very close because I'm assuming you guys look like you're not breathing at all, like your chest and stuff isn't rising. So I have to get very close to make sure you're alive. I can't really take a pulse with
Egan?
a claw.
Wait, what? What did Egan do?
When he gets close, I just kiss him on the forehead.
Oh.
Johnny smiles and tussles his hair and then just like sits up because everyone is in a bad state. So now he's just like, well, got to make sure they get through this.
Yeah, and Ophie, after Egan kisses him on the forehead, is just gonna grab his claw, the giant claw, and just snuggle up next to it. Be like, I'm so glad you're back.
Waxey's entire front is covered in strawberry candies. She just keeps touching them. nonstop.
Johnny takes his claw up, like wraps it in a bandage so that nothing bad could happen, and then just puts it back into Ophie's arms, assuming they hadn't moved at all as I took it out.
Oh yeah, no, not moved at all.
I just wrap it up so everyone's safe and no one gets sliced and diced on my claw, and then I put it back in.
I would like to imagine Bromley comes in, sees this happening, completely plastered, goes, like, pours a cup of coffee to try to sober up, drinks it, spikes it with more whiskey, and then keeps drinking.
I don't want to leave, so I thorn whip a coffee cup to bring it over and drink that.
You use your one spell slot to like thorn whip.
It's a cantrip.
Oh, okay.
I can only cast spells when I'm raging.
Oh, okay.
But I can do cantrips whenever. So I have 2 cantrips, Thorn Whip and Mending. So if I break the coffee cup, I can fix it. And then I just...
Egan sees you do this, chuckles, and uses his momentary stasis to trap the coffee mug in a bubble of time magic, and it freezes in the air, and just giggles.
I literally don't get it and just keep Thorn Whipping it. Try to get it over here. Like, what's
Once you
happening?
Thorn Whip it again, the spell's broken, and you pull it back out. But Egan found that really funny, and is just giggling.
Must have been broken that time. And I cast Mending on the perfectly fine cup, just thinking that like it broke in the air and I had to fix it.
Waxey would prestidigitation a strawberry candy, but instead of a wrapper, it's hard candy on the outside, and she would break the hard candy to reveal a crumpled up wrapper and laugh to herself and go, Boss Strary.
That's the most impressive magic I've ever seen.
Oh boy. All right. You guys are done. Are you guys going to talk about anything tonight, or is just everyone just kind of plastered and just goes to bed?
Yeah, I'd imagine tonight we would just be plastered and go to bed. I was saying, like, Ophie did all the drugs that he could possibly have managed. He is gone.
Yeah.
Bromley is absolutely wasted, but he is perfectly fine. This is done.
High-functioning alcoholic.
Egan knows they did important things and wants to know what they did, but is like too high to figure out how to make his tongue form sentences. So, like, can't have that conversation right now.
Waxey's definitely running away from the murder of her son at her own game. Hightail.
Yeah, so you guys all decide just spend the night, part of the night, just absolutely blasted, and then come back and you take a long rest, so everyone's full health, full spell slots, all ready to go. And the next morning...
Cloud.
The next morning, John Rat comes to your door. John Rat and Howard come to your door. They bang on it and they go, it's like right before dawn. And he goes, "We got to get to the port. We got to get going."
Can I feel like Ophie would have like woken up kind of early because of his anxiety about today, and he would like to.
Sure.
Like, he would have woken everyone up to be like, "Oh shit, we got high all day yesterday. We should probably figure out if anyone figured out anything." And he would wake up.
Egan definitely finds an abandoned cup of coffee from either Johnny or PBJ and just like heats it up in his hand and doesn't ask questions about what it, just starts drinking it.
You don't want to
guys beforehand. So you guys, all right. So you guys wake up before John Rat and Conrad or Howard show up, yeah. So what do you guys want to do before you wake up?
So I think we're fine today.
Or everyone else.
Those monsters aren't that big of a deal. I spent all day fighting them yesterday, and I got bored like 3 hours in. But like I signed up for an 8-hour shift, so like. I don't know. I don't think we have to worry about.
Oh, Johnny, you do get to add 50 gold to your inventory.
Hey, we got diamonds, bitch.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say that we
That's a
had
lot,
all of
that's a
our like
little.
necklaces and stuff, so we're just chilling stone as fuck with these diamond necklaces on us.
Yeah, that looks a lot sketchier than it like you guys gave credit for.
Yeah, Ophie would turn to like PBJ and ask PBJ if like he found anything while. Did you find anything while you were walking around the perimeter?
Oh, we're right fucked.
Care to explain any more?
I'm fucked.
Okay, Waxey, time to pull out more drugs. And then just starts crying again.
And as you say that, and then John Rott and Howard pound on the door, go, guys, we got to get going. And everyone gets ready. They take you to the port. You board some ships. And as dawn breaks, you make it out of the gates and are greeted by vast open ocean. As you guys
he throws
still early
right
in
at
the morning,
wrong time.
quiet, and then suddenly the ocean starts. Oh no! Am I back? Can you see me?
Yeah.
You're back now.
Oh, I'm back now. Okay, that was sucked. But so the water's still, everything's chill, and then as the the sun starts to crest over the horizon, the water bubbles, and you guys see a humongous dragon turtle crest out of the water and start to swim towards your guys' boats. As if everyone wants to go on to roll 20 really quick. Wait, let me go over here really quick. Okay, cool. I want to make sure it's all chill.
Bromley would have talked just to Johnny on the way here about it, since Johnny's a monk. Yay! Fuck.
What do you mean? They're little things. I didn't even need my club.
I Bromley would have specifically just talked to, because he's still completely fucked up, would have only talked to Johnny and be like, hey, this is what we're fighting. What do you got for me?
Well, Johnny has a bunch of stuff.
Did you do this on the boat?
I think he did do it on the boat. So
Can I
let me.
roll something to see if I heard that.
Yeah, make a perception check. Roll 20. Everyone should see the dragon turtle and the boats for our next.
Yeah, I got a
map.
5 perception, so I did not notice this combo.
You
Okay.
absolutely didn't hear that.
So if I was told about it, I would want to have cast fog cloud on the boat we're on to like hide us, so we could be sneaky and hopefully.
How long does fog cloud last?
I could do it for an hour. Concentration
Okay,
up to 1 hour.
Okay, so you can start out the battle with fog cloud, but if you start it right away, or if you start it out, it takes more than an hour to get where you are. So
Okay.
if you want to do that your first round, you can.
Well, I was
you won't-
hoping
you
with
won't
all
be,
the
you know.
information that was given to me, I would know like a good time to put us in stealth to go into the battle. Is with the fog.
No, because you don't know when it's actually going to surface. You guys get there just kind of like at the point, ready to fight, basically. is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then
Because
I
it
won't
is
do
a
that.
creature under the sea. Yeah. Okay, so as the creature surfaces, we will end our session there, and our next session will be the dragon turtle fight.
Egan.
Do I get to roll initiative
ecstatic.
now?
No, roll it. We'll roll it next week.
Oh. Okay, good. I rolled a 4, so we'll do it next week.
Just
What would
freeze your dice after you roll a nat 20, and then unfreeze it for next week.
Ooh, yeah, I can put it in the freezer. Yeah, I'll just do all my rolls now. I'll roll a bunch of crits, so I can start doing crazy 4d6 damage every turn.
There is special
All right,
rules.
I'm
going
to turn off the
I'm
stream
not just
though.
okay.
All right, bye
Yeah.
stream.
Bye stream.
Toodles.